ago to install a permanent exhibit. 50,000 pieces of rock art now nestled next to craters in a desert where the Navy designs and tests grenade launchers and cruise missiles. Sun-scorched in this viewless gallery, their thin white lines remind me of a local piano rock band called Parade the Day that broke up after 5 starved years of basement shows and band sleeping. Some performing artists I know, a troupe named something about a hippo and an elephant in a train wreck, still torn, living in a tent and feeding on their rusted saws and the busted washing machine they got for free if they hauled it. A particular chap, both the product of a bowler, had a Hungarian man with a mermaid tattoo who read at the public library on a rainy Tuesday last October, hurdles through my mind, thin and maroon, a painted arrow towards its target, a clay brown deer. Here, a metaphor for truth, capital T, the man read by 2 initials, like Elliot, who's gone down as the man who strung the world together on paper, and plagiarism, the very best plumber, heavy equipment operator, salvage crew, Mr. Vixen we had at the time, but still, we only got fragments on ruins, a laconic visual of the stereotypical view of modern art that still illicit spews and snorts a stupid, bunk Chris, shut up! It's been 16 years and you still do not make sense to a single person. We're much of the same species that all of it was designed to reach in the first place. Yet, when it hits with the startling clarity of a white goat scratched on the shady side of a rock formation in the Mojave Sticks, a 21st century suburban kid in tight jeans and SPF 48 makes him consider time and space and the endeavors of man, how God has gifted such an undeserving species that it all comes back to Havel and the fact that sitting around speculating if an action will have an effect is the only way it surely won't. It all, everything in the whole universe, it all comes back to Václav Havel and the fact that sitting around speculating if an action will have an effect is the only way it surely won't. Comes back to clenched fists and prayer and working the pavement, back to Molotovs and big pens on the subway cars, to the minimum wage that's funding the next revolution, back to not selling nothing till after you're dead, back to barbaric yachts, both virtuoso and in drop D, back to trusting God and swinging away through hell and high water and whatever comes next, back to soul, back to the Tiger Freedom, redoing Goya's the 3rd of May, Sam's press release, Sam's artist Q&A and afternoon lunch and social, back to the ruler, perfect shafts of light and that abandoned Amtrak tunnel illuminating the deafening decibels of his pain, back to the persistence of cement songs, which is the persistence of stone songs, ink songs, lyric songs, the persistence of rising, of spreading, of small sparks like us that do not know their own size or what the world has to say about their particular potentials, the sparks ignorant of statistics and theories, the sparks without hands to ring or scales to weigh the pros and cons of failing, of sparks that simply burn and burn and burn with all they have because we have all been created for that alone.